What if the woman you loved had died 2,000 years before you were born? The past does not sleep. It waits, warm beneath the ash. Octavian de Plander had always felt it, a strange pull toward the past. Not the past of textbooks and lectures, but a world buried deeper, where the dead still whispered through stone and smoke. In the spring of his 24th year, he travelled to Naples with 2 friends, drawn by the promise of sun and ancient ruins. On a warm April afternoon, they wandered into the Museo Borbonico, a place brimming with relics unearthed from the scorched earth of Pompeii. There, in a quiet room of plaster casts, Octavian stopped dead. It was the impression of a woman, her body immortalized in a mold of ash and resin, caught in the moment of her death. Her arms half raised, her head tilted as if listening, but it was her breast that transfixed him. So perfect, so delicate, so living in its shape, as though she had just breathed her last a heartbeat ago. A warmth fluttered through his chest. Not lust, not pity. Something like recognition, as if a memory had returned from another life. He stepped closer.
"Octavian,"
whispered the inscription beneath. He stared at the name, then the cast. Her presence lingered in the air like perfume. She had lived, she had burned, but her form defied death. That night he could not sleep. Visions filled his mind, flickering oil lamps, silver goblets brimming with wine, and a woman in a sheer white stola, skin like ivory, lips blood red. She whispered his name, though they had never met.
"Octavian."
2 days later, the friends visited the ruins of Pompeii. The sun burned hot, yet Octavian felt a chill. A guide led them through the crumbled streets and into a long, somber chamber.
"This,"
the guide said, pointing to the stone beds carved into the walls,
"is where 17 skeletons were found. Men, women, children, caught by the firestorm as they tried to flee."
Octavian looked around the cavern. The air was still, sacred. Then the guide paused, tapped the wall gently and added,
"One of those bodies was a young woman. Her imprint was so perfect, it was preserved and cast. You may have seen her at the museum in Naples, Arria Marcella."
The name struck him like a bell. Octavian's heart thundered. He turned to the wall, as if her soul still lingered there. He couldn't speak, only feel the silence pressing against his ribs. She had been here. Here, where the heat had turned air to fire, where bones blackened and breath turned to stone. And yet, she had smiled at him. That night, he returned to the ruins alone. The stones beneath his feet softened into mosaic tiles. The broken walls rose high and whole. Torches flickered in sconces. Laughter echoed through perfumed halls. Pompeii had awoken. A figure stepped into view. A woman, statuesque, eyes burning amber in the torchlight. Her robe clung to her like mist. Her hair coiled like serpents of gold.
"You came."
Arria Marcella? She led him through the villa, now glowing with life, to a marble couch strewn with silks. They drank, they laughed, and in her touch, Octavian felt time unravel.
"I've waited centuries,"
she whispered, lips brushing his ear.
"for someone who remembers."
But as dawn neared, the laughter turned hollow. The light faded. The walls cracked. A sulphurous wind howled. "Don't leave me," he said, gripping her hand. But her fingers were already crumbling to ash. He awoke in the ruins, alone, covered in dust. His friends found him at noon, pale, dazed, and silent. In his hand, clenched tight, was a scrap of faded silk, scorched at the edges, still warm.
"Love can outlast death."